Um, well, do I smell better? No, I mean, do I smile better? I have written a lot of things because Tokyo just had a mega earthquake that has never been happened in with this huge gigantic scale in the past. That at first, when I first listened to the radio, I was like, oh, finally it's here. I mean, I wasn't sure that whether because they have been talking about this, having in Desteni they have talked about like for many years ever since when I first joined Desteni, that around Tokyo, Hong Kong we have earthquakes. So I wrote down a lot of points. I write down a lot of points that are about what I want to talk to. I wrote all those things that people are listening, and people are robots, they don't. But I found out, after chatting with Bernard say it would be a good chance to demonstrate what under ego-money system what Japan will experience and go for how the people in Japan will experience. So I revised a little bit for the past couple of hours. I was thinking how would we experience within ego-money system if such a disaster has struck. How would we live differently than what we are currently living right now? I try to think of the points, but not much. Mainly it will be the after the disaster strike for the rebuild part, how it will be handled. Because right now, we really need to remind ourselves on one thing, that mostly when you look at the news, when you what people on the internet, on the news, what they are treating, or how they see the disaster, they just see as a movie, just like Terminator. I remember when I first saw Terminator 2 in the cinema, I was looking for stimulation. Oh wow, all sorts of special effects and things like that. People are just treating it as an entertainment because of the scenes, because of the picture, because of it didn't happen every day. But people do not really see the burden of, just like Haiti, the earthquake in Haiti, and the flooding in Australia. It's not just the excitement about how people, the breathtaking, immense water engulfing the whole city, or cars being rushed over, boats being rushed over offshores. It's not just that. One most important is they need money to rebuild everything. For example, like insurance. You think insurance company is going to cover? No, I don't think so. Not to mention that most people do not want to save money. They do not have insurance for the houses. Even those that have, the insurance company will use whatever means possible to try to not take responsibility for rebuilding. When they ask you to pay money for them, then they will use whatever means to guarantee whatever bonds, giving you all sorts of benefits. But when it's about really asking them to pay for money, they will push their responsibility puts their hands off as much as possible, and it will be a big problem, and it will cost a lot of money to rebuild houses, and not to mention that you will increase tax, a lot of tax to recover. The government needs money, the Japanese government needs money to rebuild the houses and roads, facilities, oil tanks, oil storage facilities, all sorts of factories, all those things like that. And so as I said, families currently who lost their houses currently, they need to undertake millions of dollars to rebuild the houses, else they will just sleep on the street. At this moment, the current capitalism, nobody's caring about you. You don't have support. The society do not care about you, whether you die or not. Nobody really cares, and everybody's just greedy. Within a e-communist system, all rebuilding of houses, water pipes, oil tanks, roads, all this huge amount of money and materials that involved in rebuilding will be shared by everyone on Earth. All humans on Earth support, those that are undergoing disasters and suffering, just like the Japanese in Tokyo at this moment are going through, because the starting point will be supporting each other, will be stopping the pain and suffering as quick as possible, and each person on Earth will work extra 1 or 2 hours to transfer the throughputs together to support the rebuild. If there's a big accident, an enormous accident that happened, which is not likely within a e-communist system, because when you live within a e-communist system, there's no greediness, and the nature will not strike back, because everything will be balanced, everyone will be taken care of, the animals, nature, earth, all will be put into the consideration of equally, of how each other support each other, and humanity will not be kings, will not be ruler of earth. Humanity will only be a part of the whole picture. How do humanity cooperate with the animals' kingdoms, earth, nature together to coexist? Because right now, humanity do not consider what they do not have. How can you have coexistence when your sole starting point is only for greediness? When your sole starting point is greed, when you try to be greedy as possible, to try to everyone dreaming of living a multi-billionaire style of life, not taking self-responsibility, and just trying to consume, and everybody's worshipping, want to be a movie stars, want to be a mega movie star, having millions, billions of dollars and things like that. Totally not taking self-responsibility as being part of existence, how to coexist with others. So if there is disasters that strike any part of the earth, no matter whether it's in Africa or Japan or China or Australia, New Zealand, all the expenses, the medical transportation, helicopters, oil, gasoline, which is gasoline, and the rescues, all these expenses are spread through each human on earth, which means everyone will work an extra 1 or 2 hours to support for the rebuild and for the expenses. Whenever anyone on the earth is there's a place, whenever a place on earth is compromised and is in danger, that everyone on earth support them and stop the suffering and help them to recover as soon as possible. And your starting point will not be making profit and will not be greediness. It will be totally removed, because everyone, those that left on earth, those humans that left on earth will be totally fully understand and participate in supporting each other with treating yourself just like treating your neighbors just like how you would like to be treated by others, treating each other as self, as you. Forgive my English ability, that at this moment I have very limited vocabulary to explain what I wanted to say. So living in a communist system is like, the style. I'm not saying the actual physical rescuing, but I mean the style is like you're living in rescuing each other every day, taking care and supporting of each other every day. I mean, look at the humanity at this moment. They only they feel emotional pain, they feel emotional fluctuation, that they want to feel good and feel better, so they only have so-called sympathy, or really treat others as themselves only when someone on earth is having disasters, is being struck by disasters and having suffering, and then they because they want to feel better, but they do not actually really care or don't know that the core of everything, the source of the suffering is caused by greediness. I mean, they only see that, okay, Haiti, Japan, or whatever, China, they're in pain, they're dying, okay, so we give them a hand, give them some water, food, bread, and tanks. Not tanks, yeah, tanks. And what else? I mean, what else do you do? You don't do much, after you feel better. How about the rebuild? How about the heavy, large amount of money that you need to spend? Who's going to pay for that to rebuild the houses? Nobody. Nobody fucking care. They are on their own, And I mean, within the communist system, it's like you're living in a rescuing style in every day. You put other people's, other animals, nature, and earth as the first, the same, if not first priority, but the same priority as you, as yourself, and I mean, it's funny that what I realize is when you use common sense to see. When there's a disaster striking and humanity, all human on earth, is only at that split moment seems to have common sense, seems to know that we need to support each other and forget the greediness for a moment. Apparently it looks like that. Of course, if for those companies that manufacture rescuing goods, and supplies, then they will see that as an opportunity to make money, which is greediness. Within the communist system, you kind like rescuing every day. You care and support each other as the first priority, and like that. I've been saying that, and Desteni has been reviewing in 2007, saying that there will be earthquake, tsunami, have a snowstorm, and we are only at the beginning of it. And I mean, just like what I say in the Chinese version, that you should already have common sense. Even if you're a robot, if you use common sense, you still have a chance to how should I say it, to stay on Earth. Because I mean, the natural disasters, they will keep striking humanity. I mean, look at how many disasters we have. If you use common sense, you should sense that there is something wrong on Earth. There's something wrong. It hasn't happened before. So why are we having it right now? Something's wrong. You might start questioning, but we are already giving you the answer. The answer is greediness, because of humanity's greediness, because of everybody greedying, want more money and through money to enslave each other, enslave the animals, enslave the nature earth. Mining, mining for diamonds, sapphire, rubies, emerald, things like that. And so nature is striking back. And look at the frequency of it. I mean, a couple of weeks ago we have earthquake. Maybe 1 or 2 months ago, 2 months ago, we have earthquake in New Zealand, and then earthquake in Indonesia, and then earthquake in I mean, countless report of earthquakes just 1 year, this year and last year. And I mean, according to how the way we see, we are suffering, not even suffering, we are experiencing at this moment, things are going to be, I mean, we are not kidding, things are going to be very devastating, extremely devastating, and because we are just at the beginning. It all depends on how many people on Earth are awake. I mean, because if you don't awake, if you're still harming each other through greediness, if you're still harming the animals and Earth and nature through greediness, because of you want new shoes, because you want new diamonds, because you want money through enslaving the chicken to things like that, to make money. I mean, then you will be removed very soon. It should be, because you're harming and you're just like a robot losing control, just like a murderer. How do you treat murderers in the neighborhood? You lock them up in the jail because they are harming you. It's the same. I mean, the humanity is currently harming nature, and e-community system is just a very small step with huge amount of effects that can assist each other to terminate greediness, so that nature, animals, kingdoms, earth, if humanity still exists, because right now at this moment humanity is the problem, and they are tolerating you to give humanity the chance to savage as much people as possible. I mean, that's why nature is striking back. Nature is having all these disasters, all these mega earthquakes, snowstorms, all things like that. I mean, I talked to one of the realtor, and she said, well, how come we have never heard of anything like this? How come we have never heard about Desteni? How come we have never heard about e-community system? Well, we are already doing the best we can. I mean, at least I'm doing the best I can, using the internet as the most convenient tool But the point is, it will require people to participate. If you do not participate, the e-commerce system will not bring on earth. It will not happen. I mean, the participation is just the first step. I mean, when, just like me, when you participate more, you will look for opportunities and look for ways to see whether you can earn money to support Desteni. Because just like what Bernard said, Desteni is, I don't know whether I should say it, but I really would like to, that Desteni, it's not programs. They do not have financial support. Money will not flow to them. I mean, you really need to first to study Google Desteni, Google e-commerce, find out what it is, and then educate yourself, find out what the heck this world it is. I mean, it already took me like 7 months in the past to find out what it is. But right now, after 3 years, they have a huge amount of information that has released, including videos, mostly videos at this moment. It would take time. If you insist on being a robot and want to be deleted, want to be removed, want to be killed, there's nobody can help you, really. Nobody can help you. But if you, I'm talking to those that have common sense, those people that really thinking this world is having a serious problem with greediness. The point is not money, the point is greediness. That we should not live within the point of making profit. Because what is profit? Profit is you want the full ingredients to have a fabulous, luxurious life. But you do not want to work it out. You do not want to take the self-responsibility. You want to enslave others to do the work for you. Yeah, one point is within the community system, everything, every humanity, every human, every animals, every plant, trees, they are all equal. They are all there's no who's better or who's a master or not. Everyone is equal. Everyone should be considered and being taken care of each other. You know, how the tree supports us. How do we nurture the trees? How do we take care of the animals, and how do the animal live, and then ultimately contribute the meat for us to sustain, for us to live for a certain amount of time. And then what I realized is very important is take turn. Because if you do not take turns, for example, like this life I'm a human, and the next life I might be a take turn and become a plant, or I would like to become a plant because it seems like plant suffer less pain, you know, something like that. It's not exactly they suffer less pain, but they have an interesting experience on pain, you know. And you take turn to contribute and support each other. Then you can really have equality, because if you do not take a turn, look at right now what's the problem. The problem is when you are multi-billionaire, when you are multi-millionaire, you don't have to take turns. You have all the money that you can have for the rest of your life, and it's very, very unlikely that you will need to work as a slave in the enslavement market, in the enslavement pyramid. They don't take turns. The president he doesn't take turn. He got all the money he can, he got all the corruption he can, he fulfill his greediness through all the money. And the elites, they don't take turns, they just print as much money as possible, as whenever they want. Money is just like in the United States. I mean, it's something that you can just print right now. You can just print as much money as you want, as many as you want. And only those that do not have money are those that who are not in control of them printing the monies. They are really suffering. And I mean, look at the government don't really care. The government just print. If there's not enough money, they just print as much money as possible. Ego money system is totally different. Ego money system is something that using money as a tool to facilitate the transport of throughputs. For example, like how do you support Japan? At this moment, you use money to transfer your extra 1 or 2 hours for them to rebuild, you know. That would be an example, something like that. Okay, well, I hope, not hope, but I hope you enjoy what I said for the almost 30 minutes, and I hope you understand what a communist system will be within the scenario of a disaster like Japan being struck. Okay, thank you.